Hello, my name is Aaron Simien. If you hear noise in the background, it's my family. But my name is Aaron Simien, and the book that I chose to do for my book review and my free reading choice is Punching the Air by Yusuf Salam and Ibi Zuboy. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but I'm doing my book on them. And to me, I think this is a very powerful book. It's emotional, and it has a way of connecting with the reader in a way that makes you really think about the decisions that are going on. So let me just break down like how the book is. So basically, this book right here, Punch in the Air, it tells a story about a 16-year-old kid named Amal Shahid, and he's basically a teenager who was convicted of a crime he did not do, and he's just basically wrongly convicted of a crime. And this book is written. This book is basically written in a way of poetry that adds so much like emotion into the way that he talks and the way that he goes about things. The basic situation that Amal is involved in that gets him caught up is a fight, but the system that he's involved in is not right, and they label him as guilty even though the facts are unclear, which ends up sending him to prison, and he has to deal with a lot of violence, racism, and isolation from his like normal living world. And but the thing I like about him is that he finds a way to push through it, and through his art and his poetry, because his strength is just that powerful and people cannot stop him. One of my favorite quotes in this book is when Amal says, hold on, if I can let me find it in the book real quick. Okay, it says, "The gravel slammed, a fist punching the air." And that quote right there really stuck with me because it shows how powerless he felt, and it shows that he keeps on fighting no matter what it is. And it's not with violence, but it's with his choice of words and the way that he goes about these things. Sorry for the baby in the back, by the way. That's just yeah. I like this book because I would say I really like this book because it was heartbreaking at times, but it was also inspiring for the reader, and it made me feel angry the way that he was about the injustice that was going on around him. But one thing was, Amal always faced hopefulness because he never gave up on expressing himself, and he was always holding on to who he was. I would highly recommend this book. I would recommend this book to lots, but whenever I would recommend them, I would recommend this book to a lot of other students, and it's not. This book is not just explaining a story, but it's explaining a reflection of who he is as a person. And this is some things that can happen to people in real life. And so it's just rough for people. Like, when you read this book, you'll really feel where it's coming from, and you'll be able to relate to the things that are going on in the real life, like Jen. But I would say this book really challenged what I thought I knew about the justice that goes on in this world, and this book just overall made me think about how easy it was for people to be judged on the color of their skin, and not by like basically they're easily judged by the color of their skin or the mistakes that they've made in the past, and not about how they are now as a person. So I feel like it's important to listen to the voices that often get silenced, and it's just people not going with, how do I put this? It's just people like not seeing things for what it is, and they're just judging all the time, which makes it harder for people to get around in the world. And I would just say that this book like allows readers to connect to it in real life, like as I was saying earlier. And I feel like when we get to choose what we read, this is definitely one of the first books that should come up to mind for kids. And I feel like it's just overall a powerful book that people can take things and learn from, And teachers can read this book too, and it can also encourage them to get the message that the book is trying to portray. And this book just overall helped me like grow and become how aware of it just made me become of how aware of the world is and how things can get mistaken for another thing. And it's just a way that this book is just showing the healing, and being heard. Because one thing about him all was he was wrongly convicted, but he was never heard out, and that's what just caused his whole life to go down. But he never went down with it. He kept himself up, and he just kept on pushing forward for the best and not letting anything get to him. But overall, I would say thank you for watching this video, and that is it for this book review.